Yeah, what's good, y'all? I am Coach Roundtree. If you've never seen any of my content on my channel, I post interview tips and career advice to help you elevate your game. Team, I'm starting a new series on phone interviews because in 2025, it's the most important job interview in the entire process. In this video, we're going to cover what is a phone interview, what the recruiters look for in a candidate during a phone interview, why you should be ready to talk about money during a phone interview, and lastly, why the phone interview is so important. But before we dive in, make sure you like this video. Let me know in the comments how I can help you and subscribe for more career tips. All right, let's take a step back and break down what is a phone interview and how you get to that step in the process. So you found the job on LinkedIn. Okay, I think I'm a good fit. You tailor your resume to that specific job so that keywords that are listed in that job are also on your resume. I have 5 years of experience as a marketing manager. I collaborate with teams. I'm a good fit for the culture because I've done X, Y, Z. All that is a clear line between the job description and your resume. You've done that. So then you apply for the job on LinkedIn, which will probably send you to the careers page, and then you officially apply, you hit submit, and then you pray that you get an interview. What happens behind the scenes is there's typically a software that will scan your resume in seconds and say, boom, Marcus is a good fit. And you're added to a candidate pool for that specific job. And then you get the email. Hi, Marcus. We reviewed your qualifications. We believe you would be a good fit for this marketing manager position. What is your availability for a job interview? Click my link and find time on my calendar. So the recruiter has confirmation that you appear to be a good fit based on your resume. You're now in the candidate pool, and the first step is the phone interview. Now you might be asking, well, why don't they just bring me in person? Why do I have to talk with a recruiter, somebody I've never met? I'm not comfortable over the phone. Well, here's why you have to lock in for your phone interview. Because it could be a barrier to entry. And what the recruiter is trying to do is not waste the hiring manager's time. So a phone interview is also called a phone screen. They want to screen out the candidates that just applied for the job. They didn't even really want the job, but we call it spraying and praying. You spray a bunch of applications and something sticks. Well, to avoid getting someone in front of the hiring manager is not really a strong candidate, they do what's called a phone interview or a phone screen to screen out the candidates. For example, that first process I mentioned, they scan your resume, does it make sense? Boom. They may identify 50 candidates. And from that, the recruiter, or it might be a group of recruiters, may do phone screens to get the 50 down to 10. Now, those 10 candidates will then advance to the next round, which is typically with the hiring manager. So the phone interview or phone screen is so important because the recruiter wants to make sure that whoever he or she puts in front of the hiring manager has been screened and they can actually do the job. All right, so now let's talk about what is the recruiter looking for during a phone interview. It's really the 3 C's: confirmation, confidence, and culture. Let's break down each one. The first thing the recruiter wants to do is confirm you are who you say you are. There's a lot of cap. There's a lot of fraud happening now in the job market where people are creating these personas and they're not actually the person that's on the resume. There's a lot of shady stuff happening. So the number one order of business for the recruiter is that you are who you say you are. So they're going to look at your LinkedIn profile to make sure you have a headshot and to make sure that, okay, this is a person that they're saying they are on their digital billboard on LinkedIn. Okay, that connects to their resume. All right, now during the phone interview, they're trying to make sure you are who you say you are, that you have the skills and experience that you've listed on your resume. So they're going to ask specific questions to make sure, again, and confirm you are who you say you are. The next thing the recruiter is looking for is a confident candidate, someone who shows up with high energy on that phone call, that it literally, it just oozes through the phone. They know that you're confident, that you're excited, someone that has questions to ask about the specific role, that shows that you've actually read the job description, which is a red flag. If you show up to a job interview and you haven't even read the job description, that's also going to make the recruiter know, okay, this is not the right person. So they're looking for that confidence that comes through preparation. If you say, Coach, how do I be more confident during a job interview? You have to prepare for the phone interview so that you can exude confidence, because Any question they ask you, you've already prepared and you're excited about the job. And the last thing the recruiter is looking for is the culture fit. In the back of the recruiter's head during the entire phone interview, they're saying, okay, if we hire this person, okay, how is Marcus going to interact? Is Marcus a good collaborator? We are a very team-focused organization. And the recruiter's listening and trying to feel the vibe of, okay, would I enjoy working with this person? Will the team enjoy working with this candidate? And most importantly, the hiring manager. How is this personality going to mesh with the hiring manager? Is there going to be a higher probability that they want to move this person forward in the process? Those are all things that the recruiter is screening for during your phone interview. One of the most common mistakes that candidates make during a phone interview is not being prepared to talk about money. Y'all, you have to be ready because your phone interview really is the first step in your negotiation. And the number one question you're going to get asked on every phone screen or phone interview is, what are your salary expectations? And if you don't think about money at the beginning of your process, you're going to put yourself in a severe disadvantage negotiating. So before the phone interview, go to the job description. If it's a big enough company, they'll list the salary range. And okay, so you know the range for this role is $50,000 to $80,000 for this marketing manager position. You currently make $40,000. So when you're asked, what are your salary expectations during a phone interview, always bake in a win is what I call it. At least $10,000 above your current salary, but never ask for the full max. So in this example, you make $40,000. The job on the job description says they'll pay between $50,000 and $80,000. So when you're asked that question during your phone interview, your response would be, I'm looking for a range between $50,000 and $60,000. So if they offer you a job for $60,000, it's already $20,000 above your current salary at $40,000. But you're not asking for the max. You give yourself room to negotiate. So be ready to talk about money. Do your research. Look at the job description. Go to Glassdoor.com. Type in marketing manager for that company and get the salary range so that you're not caught off guard and you're ready to begin the process of negotiating starting on the phone interview. Here's why the phone interview is the most important interview in 2025. Because the job market is very tight. Employers, companies now have all the leverage where it used to be the employee. So their bar and the number of candidates that they're evaluating is very, very high. Oftentimes there are hundreds, sometimes thousands of people applying for the job. So when you get a phone interview, you got to lock in, bro. Because there's literally dozens, sometimes hundreds of other candidates. They can easily grab another resume and interview somebody else. So you have to really lock in. And also, it's important because you want to establish a relationship with your recruiter. Because here's what happens after your phone interview. You crush it. Say you do a great job on your phone interview. Then the hiring manager is waiting to get feedback from the recruiter. And the recruiter puts your resume and notes in front of the hiring manager. Hey, I had a conversation with Marcus. I really think he's strong because of 1, 2, 3. His energy on the phone was fantastic. I know you're looking for someone that can hit the ground running. He has experience in this industry. He has XYZ number of years. I think he'd be a great fit and we should move him forward in the next round. That's all coming from the recruiter. The recruiter can only have that passion for you as a candidate if you crush your phone interview. That's why it's so important. Because after your phone interview, you don't have any other person advocating for you but the recruiter. So you have to take it seriously, man. Lock in and prepare for your phone interview. Team, if this was helpful, I need your help. Give me a thumbs up to show YouTube that this is valuable content. Share it with your people that are looking to advance their career and pass their phone interviews. And make sure you subscribe to get more career tips. I'll see you next time.